Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Dopamine Fiend. Today we're going to talk about, the dark side of dopamine when it kind of betrays you. You're in the midst of stress, trauma, and miswiring. My name is Emily, and this is your fix for today. So guys, we got to talk about the side of dopamine that no one posts or talks about, okay? The one that hits us when life hits us. When you've been stressed for so long that your chaos starts to feel like comfort and your peace feels a little foreign. You guys, that's not weakness. It's just your wiring. According to Dr. Jonathan Loeb from Lone Star Neurology, chronic stress hijacks your dopamine system by flooding the brain with cortisol. And I'm sure everyone's heard about this. This is stress hormone that rewires how you process pleasure and motivation. And it doesn't just drain you emotionally. Y'all, it changes your neurochemistry, right? And in today's age, there's so many things that go on every single day. Things are changing constantly, evolving. Things are trending, not trending in the blink of an eye. And sometimes it's really hard to keep up, right? We want to stay or look like we're on the top of our game, that we don't have downfalls. We do, right? But sometimes we don't want to portray that to others, right? And then, so we find all these pills and injections and powders to get that, that stress feeling to go away. And they think it's a quick fix kind of thing, right? And this is why I created this podcast. I created it because I know that I need help with my dopamine. And I thought, why keep it to myself? Why not just share it to everyone who might need this and who has this issue, right? There's so many things that go on, and I personally don't believe in taking pills or powders or injections. Now, I'm not saying to not take your pills. I am not a doctor. I'm not, that kind of influencer. If you absolutely need your pills, that's one thing. But if you're the kind of person that generally doesn't, but you're so stressed out and you're just like, I want to find something that's easy. Well, life's already hard as it is, but I don't want us to, put anything in our bodies that we weren't meant to have in our bodies. It's hard to find organic things nowadays. So that's kind of, we get it, right? You guys get it. I know whoever's listening, it might be you. It's okay. We're here to fix it. We're here to take our brain power back, right? So when your cortisol stays high, your dopamine stops firing the way that it should. Your reward system becomes desensitized. And instead of craving joy, you start chasing relief. And that's why some people feel calm in the midst of chaos. There's a lot of people, you may know someone who is always like when they're at peace or something's calm in their life, they're just anticipating the crazy because that's what they're used to, right? It's because that's the miswiring in their brain that went from, the chaos is where I get my dopamine now because it gives me a sense of adrenaline. And it's nothing wrong with your brain. The neuroplasticity in our brain causes us, or it lets us rather fix what needs to be fixed. Sometimes it may not be everybody. That's not everybody's case. But if you start feeling this way, you are not alone. Okay? So there was an article in the Nature's Reviews Neuroscience, and they said that prolonged stress suppresses dopamine release in the brain's reward centers, especially in the prefrontal cortex. That's the part that regulates your focus and your decision making. So that's when you stop feeling excited about healthy progress and you want to crave whatever distracts you the fastest. Your decision making definitely alters, right? I will give an example. I'm going to get a little deep here. It's okay, right? So I was in a not so good relationship a couple years ago. It was before I was engaged to someone. That's another story. He was not a nice person. And I have one friend that can attest to that, who saw it all. And I was with him for about 3 years. And I can tell you, I try to image, put myself back into that position. My brain was definitely miswired because the stress that I was put under in that relationship altered my decision making in every way. My focus, I couldn't focus on myself. I had to focus on him. I couldn't make my own decisions because I knew I had to ask, not permission, but I guess in a sense, permission. And when I got out of that relationship and I made my own decision for the first time after that relationship, it felt weird. It felt really weird. I'm like, I don't have to ask anybody's permission for this. I can make this decision on my own. And everything changed for me on that. I did step into another relationship shortly after that, and that one was also terrible, but this one was just a different one. But I know that I'm not alone when it comes to that too. And, when you think about your past things or situations that you were in, you think about how you felt and you think about how your brain wired everything in, right? And how different you were. And when you get out of it, you're just like, wow, I can't believe that I let myself get to that point, So it's definitely a true thing, right? Your brain is one crazy, crazy thing. So it's not really you that wants the drama. It's your brain thinks it's home, right? Like I said, you're in a relationship and everything goes wrong, or a fight goes wrong, or blows out, whatever, and you're just like, yeah, this is normal. Your brain thinks that that's normal. So when you get out of it and it's not, it's different. When you go from a toxic relationship to a healthy relationship, and you start apologizing for everything, I'm going off on a tangent here, but you get the point. You get what I mean. So, according to McGill University's Department of Psychiatry, trauma reprograms dopamine pathways to associate unpredictability with reward. So that's why people who grow up in instability often chase emotional spikes, even if they hurt. That's when the brain mistakes adrenaline for love and survival for success. And when I read that, it kind of threw me for a loop there, I go back to that feeling, I always had adrenaline in the relationship, and I thought that's how we were all supposed to feel. No, you don't have to feel that way, guys. You don't have to feel like you're in survival mode to succeed and make money. You can do whatever you set your mind to. You don't have to limit yourself. But yes, that's what happens, right? So Dr. Anna Lamke, she explained in Dopamine Nation, her book, that modern life keeps that cycle going. The constant stimulation, zero recovery. She says that we're chronically overstimulated and joyless. And y'all, she's right. She is so right. Like I said in the beginning on the tangent that I went on just now, so many things happen so fast. And we just got to take a step back for ourselves. That it will always be there. We will catch up when we need to catch up, So if you've ever been through all kinds of stress, trauma, you've been burnt out, you're not broken. It's just your dopamine's been playing defense for way too long. Way too long. So anyone who hears this, if you're listening to this right now and you realize that this is you, it's like anything, it's going to take some work, but it can be fixed, guys. I'm not a doctor. I'm not prescribing anything. These things are free. You can do a lot of these things for free, right? And that's why I'm here, because some people don't realize that not everything has a scheme behind it. Not everything you have to pay for to fix. You start with yourself. This is a free investment into yourself. So I hope that if you're listening to this is something that resonates with you like it does for me. So now we're on to fixing your chemistry, because fiends, it's time to take your power back from that fried nervous system. Here's 5 free tips to help you. Number 1, regulate before you rebuild. You cannot heal a hijacked brain with hustle. According to Harvard Medical School, slow breathing, cold exposure, and grounding exercises activate your vagus nerve, lowering cortisol so dopamine can flow again. And your vagus nerve, if anybody's asking, that's the longest cranial nerve in your entire body. That is a very important nerve as it controls literally everything from your digestion to your lungs to your intestines, everything. It is very important. So that's in case anybody asked. So before chasing your goals, just get calm. Just meditate too if you have to. Number 2, reward calm, not chaos. You guys, start treating your peace like it's VIP access. Cut off people that you have to cut off for the sake of your peace. I'm pretty sure they would do it to you if they realized this and they wanted to get some peace in their life, right? So if you got to light the candle, go take a walk, stretch in silence, then just do it. I know it's easier said than done, guys. I know it. Because sometimes those people, I'm not saying me, but I've had friends in the past and family in the past that you just had to cut off for the sake of your peace, right? And it's hard. Yes, it definitely is hard. I'm not saying that part's easy at all. I mean, really, evolving is not really easy. But it can be. It can be gradual. But anyways, right, if you have to cut people off for the sake of your own peace, and, you don't, maybe not cut them off completely, maybe just, not see them as much, something like that. Dr. Lemke also says that we have to reteach our brains that stillness can feel good. Okay? So, I've said this in other episodes. Boredom is therapy. Boredom is therapy, guys. Get bored. We do not get bored enough anymore. That's our issue. We don't get bored enough anymore. Back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, when social media was a thought, not really an actual thing yet, people went out and connected and laughed and got with people, because they were bored, because they didn't have a computer in their back pocket, right? And even when the computers came out, you sat down in a whole different room and got to leave that world. You weren't living in it day in and day out like we are now. So boredom is therapy, guys. Stillness is peace. It's okay. You can be boring. If people want to call you boring, okay, at least you're peaceful, right? At least you got your peace. That's what matters, right? Number 3, detox from the drama. Just cut off one chaos source, whether it's got to be caffeine, doom scrolling, or people who suck the energy right out of you like little energy vampires, right? Dr. Loeb says stress-induced dopamine depletion resets within weeks when you lower stimulation. So, pretty much in translation, meaning less nonsense, more neurons. So, we don't have to have all these things all at once. We're used to it, but it's okay to take a step back. It's okay, especially if you want to get your peace and fix your wiring in your brain. Number 4, find the micro joys in life. You don't need a full-blown vacation to heal. Now, not saying don't ever go on vacation, because your girl's going to go on vacation a lot. I'm traveling to Europe next year. So, I'm not saying don't, but just be consistent, right? According to Dr. Robert Sapolsky, small rewards, aka sunlight, our best friend the sun, music, pets, start journaling, all that will rebuild the dopamine response better than big, rare highs. It's okay. You always hear everywhere, find the micro wins. It's true. It literally fixes your brain just being happy for the small things. Sometimes I slip. I'm like, I just want the big thing. I want the win, right? I know that big win will, it'll keep me going. No, the small wins keep me going. The small wins push me closer and closer to that big win. You made your bed, win. You brushed your teeth, win. You got up and you were grateful, win. That's honestly a big win. You got to wake up, right? It really is down to the mindset. And it's a work in progress. It doesn't have to be overnight, just consistently over time. Number 5, connection is medicine. Your isolation will kill your dopamine. It will unalive it, right? According to the American Psychological Association, social bonds will boost your oxytocin, which stabilizes your dopamine and lowers your stress. So hug, laugh, talk good, connect. That's literal brain rehab, guys. You don't have to cut yourself off completely. We talked about this in an episode of dopamine fasting and how it was a viral TikTok thing that was completely misconstrued. It's not, you don't need to cut yourself off completely, right? Can you, okay, for example, the 2020 pandemic, right? We could not go outside. The entire world shut down for a whole year, right? I guess majority of a year. It started in March, so I guess we had like a good 2 months. But remember that time. We could not go see anybody. We couldn't go do anything, go anywhere. People were sick, couldn't visit them in hospitals. And we still found a way to connect. We still found a way to talk to each other, to hug, to laugh. Well, I guess couldn't hug then, but the next time when we got to go out again, how did those hugs feel? You got to connect with another human again, right? That's your brain literally rehabilitating itself. It really is, guys. So it's not about self-help. It's self-repair. You're not fixing your brain. You are retraining it so you can stop surviving and start thriving. Call me Dr. Seuss, okay? But I'm serious though, guys. I am learning along this journey too that my brain was always wired to survive. It always has been. Everyone's is. But when we realize that our brains can be used as organs for peace and feel better about the lives that we go through, no matter how stressful it may seem, I'm just retraining it. I know that it's thriving. I can feel it. Every single day I try, I can feel it. And I hope that listening to this will help whoever listens to it. I hope it helps you. I genuinely do. Because when your peace feels good again, that's when you start healing. When calm excites you more than chaos, that's growth. You're not numbing anymore. You're noticing. You're not on autopilot anymore. You get to wake up with a smile on your face every day. Hey guys, I know that there's somebody out there who needs to hear this, and I really hope it helps, just like it's helping me. Just know you are not alone. You are not alone in this. I'm holding your hand with you to fix your brain, because there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with me. Just gotta retrain it, Like we talked about in the mental gym. Give it some reps. Your brain is a muscle too. So, next episode, we're building our new baseline. How to optimize your dopamine life with the routines, tools, and boundaries that keep your chemistry balanced and your energy clean. Dopamine Fiend. Backed by neuroscience, delivered with sass. I'll see you next episode.